Before I get into this video, let me talk about my hair. My hair, I love, oh, my eyelash. This is from Rosabeauty hair. This is my first time trying out a frontal, and because I was being lazy and didn't want to make the frontal wig myself, because I hate making wigs and frontal wigs just look even longer to make than closure ones, I asked for a full lace wig. It's a 360, but I'm not going to wear it as a 360 because I can't be asked. But it's a 360 wig. It came plucked already, which made it easier for a novice who's never really worked with frontals before to pluck it herself. So yeah, the hair is really soft. I'm wearing it in its natural 1B colour. I've just put some Cantu curling cream in the hair with some water to define the curls. It's still a bit damp, but I find this hair dries very quickly, so you're not going to be walking around dripping wet hair all day. Like, even now the end's already drying up, so I like that. It's really soft, like really soft hair. Like, when I was at work with this hair, all my colleagues were just like, oh my gosh, your hair's so soft. So it's really soft hair, and if you're like me and you want to try out frontals for the first time, I really recommend getting a full lace wig to try out first, just to practice plucking, and then later on you can work on the construction part and stuff. But yeah, shipping time was really good. I think it came in, like, from what I remember, 2 to 3, no, because they shipped it out to me on a Saturday and it got to me on Monday or Tuesday, so shipping was really quick for this. But yeah, I just feel like I look like a little tropical island girl with this hair. I love it. So yeah, I have all the hair deets down below for this hair. Check it out. Yeah. Today I want to do more of a chit chatty video about some things, because I feel like I always do my little hair makeup videos. I kind of just go, and you guys don't really get to know me or hear me talk about a lot of things. So today I want to say, first of all, thank you for 3K subscribers. Woo! I've only been doing YouTube for like a year and a bit now. My year target was actually 1K, so the fact that I'm on 3K is just amazing to me. Like, I'm so grateful. Like, I don't think you guys understand how much that means to me, because prior to starting YouTube, my life was just, ugh. I'll talk about them on another video, but I was going through some things. Like, I was really going through it, and I started YouTube as a means to kind of not escape what I was going through, but kind of just like, I felt like I was in a really bad place in my life, and I felt like I really needed a hobby to help kind of make the days go by. So I started my channel. So to see people supporting me and to have people come up to me, like, in my area and be like, oh my gosh, I watch your channel, like, it's so cool to me. So I want to say thank you for that. Like, I'm really grateful. Like, thank you so much for 3K. Like, y'all so kind. Like, I didn't think little old me could get 3K subscribers on YouTube and get like 1K plus views on a video. Like, that's a lot for me. Yeah, what I want to talk about today is just like YouTube and what YouTube is like. Obviously, I'm a small YouTuber, so my experience of YouTube is going to be so different to like the experience of those who've been doing YouTube longer than me, who are bigger than me, more popular than me. So I can only speak on what I've experienced. And yeah, YouTubers, I love doing YouTube, but like, I do sometimes wonder, like, if I can actually do YouTube full time. When I first started YouTube, I thought, you know what, I would want to go into it full time. The more I go into doing YouTube, the less I want to do it full time, because of what I feel like YouTube and being like an influencer entails. So I feel like with being a social media influencer, YouTuber, etc, I feel like you have to put a lot of your life on social media. You basically get paid to divulge every little detail of your life. So even if I'm just out for dinner, I have to Snapchat it. If I'm out here, I've got to Snapchat. If I'm wearing this outfit, I've got to Snap. And me, Alison, I'm not that person. Like, as much as I'm on social media and I enjoy using social media, I'd like to say I'm a fairly private-ish person, in the sense that I'm not going to divulge all the details of my life on social media in exchange for a check. I feel like you've got to pick your poison. I'm not going to do that for money and then get upset when people are in my personal life. Like, it's not the bed that I made. I made that bed. That's why certain things on YouTube I won't do, like the couple tag. Obviously, I'm in a relationship. It's no secret that I'm in a relationship. Like, if you have me on social media, you will see that I'm in a relationship. But I'm not gonna come and bring my boyfriend on my channel as my boyfriend and be like, oh my gosh, this is how we met, this is what we're doing, this is, oh my gosh. Yeah, for me, I'm not gonna, there's nothing wrong with doing that, but I'm not gonna do it, because the more of my personal life that I give you guys, the more you'll feel like you're entitled to know certain things that are, quite frankly, none of your business. Put it this way, I love making content, I love creating content, I really do. I find it so fun. It like unleashes my more creative side. But for me, once I've posted my video on YouTube and I've created my content and done whatever, the camera goes off. If you want brands and stuff to work with you, you have to have this certain look and be quite polished. I'm not like that. I'm quite, not raw, but I'm kind of just like, when I come on camera, what you guys see is what you get. Like, I'm being me. Like, seen on camera is me. Like, I'm very relaxed, kind of. No, I'm a very, like, on a day-to-day basis, I'm quite relaxed. I don't really, like, do the most. I'm not gonna come on camera and be like, ah, oh my god, yes, yes. It's just me and myself and God in this house right now, you know. I'm not saying I don't want brands to work with me. I'd love for brands to work with me, but I want them to work with me for who I am and not who they think I am and who I'm not. Like, if a brand doesn't want to mess with, like, my vibe and how I come across, that's not, I don't know if, maybe, that's the thing, maybe I'm going wrong here, because in my mind I've got this very nonchalant, like, that's not a problem attitude. I don't know if that's the right attitude to have, and that's why, because I have this attitude, I think, can I really be doing YouTube full time? I like that when I have my down moments, and I have them a lot, that I can just turn off my camera, turn off my social media and go about my business and not worry about the fact that I'm not even allowed to be down and have time to myself because I'll lose a following, I'll lose numbers, I'll lose this, and numbers equals money. And no, that's what comes with being a social media influencer. You've got to be doing this and that. Yeah, as I just said, that's why I don't think I can do this shit. Like, because if that's what it comes with, then I don't want to do it. When you do a boyfriend tag, bring your boyfriend. No! I'm not saying I'll never have my boyfriend on my channel, like, for the time being, I don't really feel like I want to, but it's not a thing where I'll be bringing him in like, oh, hi, this is my boyfriend, please give us a view, we're gonna kiss on camera for you guys to see now. That's weird. Couple YouTube, the couple side of YouTube, they're flipping weird. Like, I can't get with it. Like, people doing announcements about them breaking up and shit. I think that is corny as hell. Corny. It is corny. I don't care what no one tells. That's corny. Corny. That's what happens when you put your life on the front line for everyone to see all the time. You find yourself having to explain yourself to people all the time. You mean to tell me I can't even break up with someone in peace? I must explain to everybody like breakups aren't hard enough. Nah. Yeah. I say, like, I haven't made a lot of like YouTube friends like that. Like, I'm cool with a lot of people, but for the most part, I haven't made a lot of YouTube friends per se. Like, the friends that I have, or people I'm really cool with that do YouTube, like, I'm friends with them outside of YouTube. Our friendship has nothing to do, like, our relationship has nothing to do with YouTube per se. Like, I actually chill with these people outside of YouTube, and it's not a thing where, like, I'm really gonna link up with them at events and stuff. Like, I actually chill with these people. I've been out with these people, they've been to my house, etc, etc, etc. The YouTube community in the UK is really fake. Like, I just feel like, and I say that because I'm not invested with like YouTube friends per se, so I'm on the outside looking in a lot of the time, but it's just like, people will swear they're friends, even be doing big collabs with each other, but they don't like each other. Stay out of it and just mind my business. Like, I'm cool with these people, but you people are not my friends, because you lot will sell each other out in a heartbeat. Once one person blows, it's, oh, you'll throw them under the bus and be like, oh, they haven't put the rest of us on. And that's another thing I talk about, people feeling hella entitled as well. We'll go into that next. And not everything is what it seems. Like, people are doing collabs and they don't even like each other. I'm not even gonna say too much about that before I watch what other people are doing too much, like, this person's doing this and they're doing that and blah blah blah. Why does this person get to have this? How about you mind your own and stop worrying about why one person has had things that you're not having? Maybe because they mind their business. Maybe. People talk about YouTube being cliquey, right? And what I'll say about the clickiness on YouTube is, I find that a lot of people respond to clicks by forming cliques of their own to combat a clique, which makes no sense to me. The way I see it is this, yeah, with clickiness, it's like, if I'm doing well on YouTube, yeah, or I'm doing well with what I'm doing, and opportunities come my way, I will always bring in my people first. You will always see my people around me. I always bring in my people in every opportunity I have if I can, and I'll always put them on if I could. If that's cliquey, then so be it. People that haven't necessarily supported me when I first started doing YouTube and stuff. I'm talking about this is between small YouTubers. So big YouTubers are out of this conversation completely, because like I said, I'm a small YouTuber, like a very small one. I don't know what the big ones go through, because I'm not in their circle like that. I don't know what big YouTubers go through, but I'm sure they can probably relate to what I'm saying. Who never supported you, when you suddenly start doing things and doing well, they suddenly feel like they're entitled for you to help support them because you're bigger than them. It's sort of like when you become big, you throw the ladder down for others to help others, and I agree with that. But at the same time, you're not entitled to my support. Remember that, you're not entitled to nothing from me. I don't owe you nothing, because when I was working hard and grinding and doing what I'm doing, I did it on my own. So you're not entitled to me having to put you on. And that's the thing, nobody wants to even work, they just want to be put on by somebody. Everyone wants to just be put on, put on, put on. Do the damn work. I will be damned if anyone can actually come around and start telling people that they put me on. Nah, even if it takes me 10 times longer to get to where I want to be, I'd rather do it on my own than have someone be able to actually open their mouth and say that they put me on. Yuck, no. YouTube, social media, like, can be very, very toxic. Like, a lot of people come on YouTube and social media and become influencers and whatnot as an ego boost for how inadequate they feel in real life. Maybe they weren't always the cool kid growing up, and it's like they come on social media to get that ego boost, to like, because they are the cool kid on social media, and that's where it can be a bit dangerous, because you need to feel that sense of validation in real life and not on social media, because that's how you find, like, a lot of these influencers or personalities that come across like very confident online are the complete opposite in person. You need to walk it how you talk it, because the streets talk. Unfortunately, they talk, and it's like, if you're coming on social media acting like you're super confident, but then in the streets we're hearing that you're actually mad insecure, you're mad this, you're mad that, it does make you look a bit, it ruins your... Anyways, I don't even know what the point of the video was. It was just a ramble to say thank you for 3K and saying my YouTube experience so far. Other than that, I've actually really enjoyed YouTube, don't get me wrong. I don't want to sound like I'm just complaining. But basically, it's just also to let people know that I want to start YouTube as well. Like, be yourself. Don't get sucked up into nonsense, and really think about if you're willing to commit full time into being an influencer YouTuber, because I'm not. That's not me. That's not to say I don't enjoy doing YouTube. Like, I will still be doing YouTube, posting content, but I'm not gonna devote my life into trying to become this person that is like the brand's favorite. Nah, like, I'm just gonna be Alison. I'll always be Alison. I'm not selling out for nobody, not a soul. That's all I have to say. That video seems very depressing. Wow, sorry guys. I'm actually in a very good mood today, hence why I'm filming, to talk about this, because I'm in a good mood. If I was in a bad mood, talking about this would just piss me off. But yeah, hopefully you guys can follow my train of thought and I wasn't rambling too much. Check out Rosabeauty hair for the hair deets, and goodbye.